We are live. Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. This is Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach, president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. Joining me live here and actually via you in the North studio. You in the
Yeah,
studio up north.
one of the three, huh? One of
Yeah,
the
one of
three.
the three studios that we broadcast. James T in the North studio. I'm in the Henderson Financial Group studio here in Miami Lakes. And we got a great show lined up for you today. Man, I tell you, it's just so wonderful to be able to dedicate your life to learning, James T. It's I
Oh,
woke up this morning just thanking God, saying, thank you, God, for waking me up in my right mind. And just I've dedicated my life to just a life of learning, helping, and
oh,
sharing, man. Isn't that a great feeling to feel?
it's a wonderful feeling, Rob, and it really gives me an opportunity to say what I was doing these last 3 days. I was doing the Robert Henderson.
Tell
I
us
was the
about that. The news
I was
doing the Robert
I,
Henderson. How you do the
I,
Dougie? How you do the Robert
I,
Henderson?
Rob. I was invited to come for the first time because I do Disney all the time,
Right.
but they
You
invited.
had a relationship with them for a long time, right?
Maybe
20
30,
years or
40
something?
years.
Wow.
I don't even know how far it goes back, but nevertheless, they asked if I would come up and be on a panel, a group of people that would select 100 Disney Dreamers Academy winners. These are young people that are in school throughout the country that had sent in uh, speaking about themselves, their aspirations, uh, their lives, and we wanted to select 100 of these students that would also be able to bring their parents or guardians and come to Disney in April and to be motivated, to be inspired, to hear others' story. And when I was asked to come, man, it was such an honor because the gentleman that first asked me to be involved in this about 3, 4 years ago, his name was Keith Rosenbaum, and I did it in his honor. It's called the Dreamers Achievement and Academy actually. And so what happened was when he asked me would I come, Steve Harvey was the individual that was the host of this event at the time. And he said, I know that Steve is not with your company, but if I could get your company to allow you to come, would you come? And in a short, I said, look, if my company does not, for whatever reason, want me to come, I said, let me know when it is, how many days you need, and I'll take my vacation and come. Now, Rob, we took a picture honoring that, and I kept that. Of course, Heath passed away a few years ago.
Oh
And
man.
and Rob, when we do our prayer, and often we talk about, we ask God for those things that we cannot ask, think, or imagine. Rob, I never thought, asked, never thought, never imagined that I would be on a panel of about 16 to 18 people. And we spent the entire day literally reading, and going over all of these applications of young students who would love to come to Walt Disney World to be a part of the Disney Dreamers Academy. And it started out with 10,000. They didn't ask us to come out to weed out to 10,000.
Thank
They
God.
weeded out to four, right. They weeded out to 400. And what we did, we were to select 100 of the 400. And
Wow.
and Rob, going back to the people that you meet. I mean, people flew in that work with Disney out of California, from all over the country. They flew us in. Disney took care of travel and accommodations for us to give of our time. That's the Robert Henderson, to give of
Yes.
our time, to give of our talent, and to come and to give young people an opportunity to live their dream. And man, I was blown away. I really was. The people I was able to meet, and I was the only one, Robert Henderson, that they asked to come that dealt in radio with all the radio stations, and all that. So it was an honor, man. So when you and Linda and Heisey and Antonio and Tavares and everybody, oh, and your award-winning daughter Jasmine, when you guys go out and serve in the community, as I tell you and Bill Dozier, I'm trying to catch up with you guys. I'm trying to catch up with you guys.
No, we
In my
doing it together, man. We doing
yeah,
it together. We
that's
doing
beautiful.
it together, man. We
That's
doing it
beautiful.
together, and it's good to know like-minded people with no strings attached, really, and just to want to serve and help each other, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's heaven. That's heaven here on earth, man. When you
Hey,
can find, brothers, sisters, people that just, and really it's regardless of skin color, it's
mhm,
just beautiful people just saying, hey, man, let's just help and let's share and let's just go for our good, better, best. Never let them rest until
mhm,
our good become our better and our better become our best. When you dedicate your life to doing that, there's no time for boredom. I mean, because it's always somebody that needs some help, and you can share with your
mm.
talents, with your experience. It's a lot of things that make the world go round, and each of us can be great. Each of us can contribute. So I just love it. I love it. I want to say good morning to our guests here. Some people signed on, some didn't, but I know these people were here. Tracy Tompkin, and there's Jeff, and there's Mr. and Mrs. Redhead and Denise Ward. I mean, I want to say good morning to you all. James, I woke up about 3:30 this morning, man. I mean, I woke up, and I had a lot of things on my mind, thinking about this and that. And then I had to calm my mind down from racing and thinking about this idea, that idea, because I'm doing the outline for this book that I'm going to write, and I keep adding to it. I mean, I said, man, I may be two books, because it talks about what I'm gonna be talking about. It's a blueprint for young people, young Black boys and young Black girls, a blueprint of becoming financially educated, and becoming on the road to financial wealth, and teaching them from everything from life insurance to mortgages but I got to make it where it's just really down to earth and not textbook, and put the way I talk into it, but I keep
Mhm.
coming up, man. And now I came up with another chapter I want to add to it called thought, because this is stuff that they don't teach. And I'm thinking about little Robert. If I would have understood the law of repetition, if somebody would have told me about how thought is the beginning of everything, followed by action. We just never thought about that when you're 10 years old, you're 12 years old. You have these conversations. So I'm having these conversations. So I keep adding to the chapters in the book, and I'm like, oh my God. Instead of having one book, 300-400 pages, I'm gonna break it down and probably have two. I know that's gonna cost more for publishing and all that, but that's okay, because I need to get this out, because I don't know of any book out there on the market that most young people, especially people of color, you know, can go to. They can really speak their language. I'm gonna tell them about the police. I'm gonna talk to them and say, listen, drugs, stay away from your drugs. Your mind is your most powerful weapon that you have, that kind of stuff. And just tell them a little bit about my experience too. So I'm excited about it, but I been thinking about that right along with other things. But and it led me to I want to talk about today's show. Today's show is a strategy, because it's all about thought and it's all about thinking. And they say that it's been written that the hardest thing for man to do is what, James?
Think no, do those positive thoughts, Rob. Our mind is always moving for us. But now you know what Napoleon did. He did what Jesus did. He spoke in parables. He said, but now when you seek it, you'll get it. And that ability to control and direct our minds to the ends that we desire.
Yes.
Rob. Oh, Rob. And if you do that, if you can get anybody to say, hey, my conversation should be about those things that I quote unquote believe. That was one of the comments that I was making when they asked us to speak, as to what motivated us to come, and what would we say to a student, and my one liner was, seek to become what you were created to be. Now, Robert, think about that. If you could get a young person to say, "Well, I know what I might want to be, a football player, basketball player, blah blah." No, but hey, if you said, "Can you seek within yourself to become what you believe you were created to be?" Now, it could become a path and a journey, and you're going to go through all these other elements. It doesn't mean that you won't have a job, but if you ever get to this is my work. This is who I am. This is what I have been gifted to do. You and I know that, as Bob Proctor and others would say, it becomes that law of attraction. All that you need to become the best that you were created to be will be attracted to you so that you can continue to grow.
Yes, I love that, man. I love that. That's something that I mean, we should have been learning that like right along with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good?
Isn't that something? Right along with the Pledge of Allegiance, you pledge that right there.
Yeah.
You would pledge to become and seek to become the best that you can become. That should be a pledge, right?
Right.
Prerequisite for getting out of kindergarten, but prerequisite, for getting out of high school, middle school, college, and that should be a pledge, but then, that's if you and I were kings of the world.
Hey, but we are disciples of a king
Yes.
who has a kingdom and allows us to have dominion. Rob, that was, man, we had people in all walks of life. I'm talking about when Disney brought them in, they weren't that's why I told them, I said, I'm just honored to be in the presence. They brought in leaders. And see, leaders are not people that are brand managers. Leaders empower others. These were people that had other people working for them, and they came in to give of their time, to select 100 and then to share. Man, it was like I said, I felt not out of place, but I felt blessed just to be in their presence.
Man, that's something.
See, like I feel when I'm in your presence, Rob.
Yeah. Sure you do.
Hey, wait. I want y'all to know I glean. Trust me, we have this podcast, but I glean from Robert Henderson, and he just puts up with me when I have to call him to help other people. So now he's not going to take your call like he take mine, but guess what I do? I try not to call him. I text him so that he can call me when he's available. But I'm asking him, Rob, I got somebody that I want to help.
Yeah, you sure do. But that's a relationship.
Well, now that's a great thing to have.
And that's a great chapter too, isn't it?
Yeah, Rob.
That's a great chapter too, right?
Yeah, we can contact Bruce.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We can call Bruce. That's right.
We can call Bruce and he'll answer.
That's right. Sing your cell phones Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sing your attorney a Microsoft. You know what I mean?
Hey, Rob, we can contact Joy Reid.
Yes, we can. Right on air. We got a lot of reach, and James. But I tell you, oh my God, your contact, my goodness, listen. If you want Gladys Knight to come on, you like, hey Gladys. Oh man, you could just. Oh man, it goes on and on, but that's relationships. That's a chapter on relationships, how important relationships is, because and it stems from the Father, because you got to have you can't do nothing on your own. You got to have a relationship, with the Father, But anyway, Amen. Okay. Amen. So I want to share, because this is Education Saturday.
Come on, let's do it.
And I want to, I was having this conversation with an ex-Dolphin football player. This great guy, man. I tell you, I like this guy. This guy is a believer. This guy gets it, man. And he's a calculated risk taker, and he ain't winding up like the rest of the, whole lot of, they get a bad, it's due, a lot of people, regardless of what profession they're in, some people still never get over getting something for nothing. This guy's not like that. He understands. So I like, from time to time, he'll call me when he's heard about something. He'll say, Rob, he said, Mr. H, I want to run this by you. What do you think about this? And I'll talk to him and tell him, and then put some wisdom on it. And he is a type of brother that when he hears the truth, he can discern it. He go, got it. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said. I think there's a gift, and it's a blessing when you have the gift of discernment, meaning that you could hear truth and you can hear falsehood. And truth, the difference between truth and falsehood. And now I'm going to tell y'all who are all listening right now, if you want to get to know that, how to decipher that and distinguish between the two, the prerequisite to getting that gift and having that ammunition, having that power, is you really got to be first true to thyself. You have to surrender to thyself. You can't lie to yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. That's the first it's almost like you say, listen, I am an alcoholic and I need help. You can't be down in, bottles of whiskey and saying every morning for breakfast and at night, and then say I'm not alcoholic. You can't. The first prerequisite of truth is being true, of understanding, comprehending, and being able to discern what just the big picture in life. You got to be honest with thyself. Okay. Now, so this conversation that I had with this ex-Dolphin player, this was last night, as a matter of fact, we're going to move into some of the things. I'm going to educate you guys on some things that you had no idea. And I do believe that we should be sharing and enlightening and saying, never thought about that moments. I really do. I look for those moments. I live for those moments. I need those moments. I crave for those moments to say, got it. Oh my God. This epiphany. I did not know. And therefore I am learning. Oh, you could do that. You could do this. My friend Robert Earl just signed on. Me and him talk a lot. We do a lot of this. Yeah. Enlightenment and discovery and growth. So this guy, the football player, called me. He said, listen, Robert, I got a friend of mine. He called another football player. Another football player was saying, they got this, he's getting involved in this investment where basically you can put in, $1 million. You ain't got to use your $1 million, but you got to just put it up. And off that $1 million, you ain't got to use it. It ain't at risk, but you just got to show that you have the $1 million. And then there's some sort of platform that they, use it for, and you can generate income monthly off of that without actually losing your capital. So just having it, and then they put it in the platform, and you could generate, let's say 60% in a month. So as soon as he said that to me, 60% in a month, and I started thinking about a month, and I started thinking there's 12 months in a year, and 60% times 12 months, we're already at 720%. And I'm saying, wow, there's a lot of people and there's a lot of worlds within the world. If he knows about that and he says that you can do that, I said that there are a lot of people that are behind the scenes and doing things that we know not of. That right there would have gotten out because that's so much money. I said, that's impossible. So the guy said to me, Henderson, how could you say that's impossible without knowing the details? I said, because I know universal law. I know law. He says, what do you mean? I know law. Just like I know that if we go up and get on top of a building and we don't have no parachute, we don't have no kind of gear on, and we drop off that building, I know that we're going to go down. Why? Because I understand the law of gravity. That is not a rule. That's a law. That's a universal law. That's God's law. It runs automatically. I don't care. It's no respecter of person, place, who you are. You're the president. You this. You're beautiful. You that. You can't con it. You can't bribe it. You cannot bribe gravity. It's a law. There's no more than you can bribe the sun or the moon. It's a law. It shows up. That's it. So he says, how do you know without the detail? I said, because first of all, there's a law called sowing and reaping. You cannot reap without sowing. If you tell me you're going to get something for nothing, I'm already telling you it's impossible. Let the church say amen, James. Is that right?
Won't happen. That's why I said bells would go off.
Yes.
Yeah, bells would go off. And go ahead.
See, that reminds me of the story, James, that you and I talked about before. When the man went to the wooden stove and he was cold and he didn't have any wood, and he kept trying to talk the stove into giving him heat. And then later on, he'll bring back the wood. Yeah. Well, the stove said it don't work like that. It's the law of sowing and reaping. You got to work. You got to put in something. Like farmers, you can't plant tomato seeds and hoping that
corn comes up.
Corn gonna come up for harvest. You sitting there wait. You. This ain't gonna happen. So these are laws that you got to understand. See, so I already know the law of sowing and reaping. There's no free lunch. You can't even get to heaven without sacrifice. You got to give up something. There's always trade. And I said, listen, an athlete, to be in the NFL, there's millions of kids, children that play football, little league, college. It's only a few that can get into the NFL. You got to be exceptionally good. You got to be almost a freak of nature. And then when you get there, in order to stay there, do you understand the pain and suffering in your body and the running and ripping? That's why they get paid a certain amount of money, because they have to reap. They reap what they sow. That's it. Now, when you start understanding this law, you'll get it. You won't be ripped off. You won't be trying to get something for nothing. If you're 400 pounds and you want to get down to 150 pounds, you got to do something. Now, I know this Ozempic, this pill, and all this kind of stuff they're taking, but let me tell you something. You can't get something for nothing. You might be 400 pounds and take that Ozempic pill, that shot and all that, and shrink on down. Whoa. A little bit of time, your kidneys or your bladder or this or that, they don't even know the side effects. It ain't time, man. Time. It might not happen this year. May not happen next year. But it could be 5 years, 10 years. I mean, it just you might have been really living hard when you're in your younger age, and you figure you got back. When your older age, it shows up. You know what I mean? Nobody gets away. It's the understanding of reaping and sowing, and there's nothing free. There's a sacrifice you have to put in. You have to bear the price. Everything costs.
Robert, I hope Dolphin player number one, when you explained to him what he took your advice, or did he take the other person's advice?
Oh no, he's a good guy. He can discern. He took my advice. So we wait, and the other player said that he gonna find out more about it. As soon as he get there, he gonna come back to me. And I told him, I said, listen, let me tell you something. I'm Robert Henderson Jr. Now, I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm gonna tell you something. My mom, God bless the dead, who just passed away a few months ago. I said my mom called me lazy all my young growing up childhood. I didn't want to cut the yard. I didn't want to do nothing. I really did. I wanted to just live, and just every day is Christmas. Basically, I just wanted to eat and have a good time, play sports. I did not want to do any labor chore. I know when I grew up, I was going to have to find a profession that I loved, not that I liked, but I loved. So I'll feel like I'm still not working, in order to make a living. I had to, because the thought of me working 9 to 5 and still can't eat or can't do what I want to do is miserable. That's not life to me. I have to be, if I'm gonna be working, it's got to be something that I actually like to do, and I'm prospering and I'm helping people. That's
good at it.
You got to be good at it and be good at it. So I found some, but I said, if there was anything out here where you can get something for nothing, James T, I would have found it. Because when I was 19, 20, 21, man, I went high and low. Listen, when I was 21, I went to Africa, West Coast. I went to the diamond mines, the gold mines. I was in the bush, the jungle, acid. You know how they cook crack up and acid and have a little beaker? I was in the jungle in Africa cooking gold. To find and finding gold so to come up, and then we're going to sell it. We're going to get it wholesale, sell it on the London fixed market for 20% markup. Let me tell you something. Man, when I was young, I was trying to cheat and get something for nothing, because that was from I never shot craps. What are they? Craps? I never knew how to play craps and like that. Dice. I never do all that. But I used to go to the dog track, the horse track. I mean, when I was young, I did a fish market. I did a grocery store. I did a record store. I went to all kind of stuff trying to figure out how can I amass wealth without, and it just be easy, and there is nothing easy. I don't care what you do. People look at LeBron James and a lot of NBA players, they make, $30-40 million a year. But think about, they're like machines. Somebody is clocking them every day like a machine. You got somebody, some little nerd who ain't never played sports, sitting up there saying he didn't jump as high that on this quarter. He didn't make as many baskets. Oh, he's starting to go down. When you're like that, it's business. You're starting to go out. They're gonna trade you. They're gonna get rid of you. Oh, he hurt his knee. You know what I mean? You got to keep on. You got to put as much hustle in every day and sweat every day and run up and down on courts. That's hard. They say 90% of NBA players are in depression. You would think, man, you got making $50 million a year. How can you be? No, I'm telling you, there's always a price to pay. Don't think the people on the other side got it better than you. Everybody pay a price. You have to put in. It's the law of reaping and sowing. It's as if you can deal with it or not. Me, people say, oh, Henderson, I want to be like you. No, you don't.
Because you don't want to do what I do.
You don't want to do what I do.
You don't want to put that time in.
You don't want to put the time in it. I got these glasses, honestly. I didn't used to wear no glasses when I was 22. I started reading Fanatic, and next thing I know, I couldn't put books down. My eyes were straining. Now I'm addicted to reading and knowledge. I had to change. Listen, from the first grade to the 12th grade, I don't think I read no books. But then I find out, oh my God, if you want to get something, you got to change.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, the first book. I didn't just read it. That's the first book I ever studied. I didn't even study the Bible in the 11th grade. Someone, an angel gave me a paperback. And as I read, I said, oh, like you, Rob, hey, it was showing me a way. And then I found out that so many other people who were successful in life, but now even with Napoleon, he wasn't telling you how to get rich. He was sharing stories of others that he had interviewed. And in each little part, whether it was definiteness of purpose, mastermind, labor of love of your own choosing, all faith, all these things, he dropped that nugget that would get you on the journey for you personally to get where you could be the best you that you were created to be.
That's right.
Rob, hey, I tell them I haven't had a job since 1969 and will never have another job. Never in life have another, because like you said, we understand principles. Doesn't mean I won't work, but I'm definitely, my grandmother would bless me and said, I'm going to show you how you can earn money so you don't have to beg that white man for a job.
She showed you right too, because now you don't have a job. Like you say, you hadn't had a job. You create, you have relationships, and you do more than what can be seen by the naked eye. So the guy, so I told him, I said, listen, first of all, you got to understand how to look at things. Once you understand that there's no free lunch, there's always a price to pay. If somebody come and tell you their wonderful idea, first thing you got to do is look for the hard thing. Because if it's legitimate, you got to look at what is the hard part of it. And then once you look at the hard part of it, then you can decide whether you can deal with that or not. That's it. You know what I mean? If you want to go to the Olympics and be a star and get a gold medal, you got to say, what is the hard part? What I got to do? And then when they tell you how many times and how many days and how many times you got to wake up and all that, then you say, I could do that. Then you're on your way. Most people get scammed and most people want something for nothing. It's amazing to me. It's not like they're 16 years old or 21 years old. We got people 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old still going for the okie doke and still trying to get something for nothing. It is not on the planet. You can get scammed. You can get got for something for nothing, but you cannot prosper and build wealth getting something for nothing. There's always a trade-off. And I got to get this through, especially people of color. Gotta get it through your mind. I know we feel like we've been behind and we're gonna hurry up and do catch up, but there ain't no catch up shortcut. You got to think. You have to think. Much is given, much is required. That is a law too. I'm telling you. Y'all gotta understand these laws. Don't think they just BS. These are real. If you want a lot, boy, you better be willing to do a lot. Matter of fact, the difference between a rich man and a poor man, check this out. The only difference between a rich man or a rich woman and a poor man or poor woman, the only difference is the rich person did what the poor person either would not do or could not do. Ain't no other difference. You got to put in, it's called reaping and so on. So anybody tell you, hey man, you put in $50,000, we're going to get a trucking business. You ain't got to drive no truck. We're going to pay you $3,000 a week. And you go for it. First of all, you got to say, okay, where's the hard part? There ain't no hard part. Just give me your $50,000 and every week we're going to give you $3,000. And you go, oh my God, this is so great. Oh, God has blessed me. No, God, no, that's not a God law. You got to ask, where is the hard part that other people won't do and you going to do? If it don't pass that test, it's crap. It ain't right. It's wrong. It's a Ponzi scheme. If somebody say, give me $50,000 and they're going to pay me $3,000 a week, that's too easy. You cannot get something for nothing, grown people. And going back to the story, James, you and I read years ago, there was this wooden stove, and the man said, please, stove, I ain't got time to go get no wood. Stove, I just want you to give me some heat because I'm cold. I give you some stove. I'll come bring the wood back later on. And the stove said, Mister, you don't understand. You have to do things in order. I can't give you heat and then later on you bring me the wood. I'm a wooden stove. I am required to get the wood first. Then I burn the wood and then heat comes out. That's how it works, sir. And the guy sat up there and just pleaded and conned and slobbed and crying and trying to con the stove. The stove said, you could talk until you blue in the face. I don't care who your daddy or your mommy is. I don't care what side of town. I am the stove. I'm telling you, in order to get heat, you got to bring me that wood first. So there's something for you to do first. I want you all to understand this because as a certified financial planner, I've been doing this 37 years. I am totally blown away how many adult people still trying to do the scratch off, still trying to get something for nothing. Listen, let me tell you about that lottery. When they say the lottery, there's $100 million, you feel somebody got to win. Why not you? Why not me? Yes, but let me tell you something. When they say the lottery is $100 million and you go put your $1 or $20 or your $100, before the drawing, they done collected $500 million because y'all trying. So y'all done spent, the drawing is on $100 million. Y'all done gave them people $500 million collectively. So done right, they're gonna let one person or how many people win. That's a gimmick too. Okay, don't get me started. Let me get back into. I'm trying to explain to y'all. These are universal laws. These are principles. This is like traffic signs. If you're gonna drive, you must know the laws. There's a stop sign. That means stop. There's a yield. The red light, green light. So if you want to navigate through life and be prosperous, you got to stop first losing money. You got to stop giving your money away and taking these stupid risks trying to get something for nothing. You have got to put in the work. Okay, that's it. Now, let me tell you my thought for today, something that you all don't know not of. This football player, James, we was talking to, he's a smart guy. He says, listen, I got 4 grandkids. And he aged them from age 2 years old on up to 14. It's 4 of them. And he got his daughter. And I said, I have 4 grandkids. And I'm going to tell you what I did for them. And it's in the lines of universal creating wealth. Wealth is built slowly, not quickly. You can get rich quick, but you can't get wealthy quick. Let the church say amen. That's the first time I said that. Let me say it again. That's true. You can get rich quick because you can win the lottery or all of a sudden you can get a lawsuit. You're rich. But rich ain't it. A lot of people done been rich. They poor now. Drug dealer was rich. He poor. He doing life in jail. He asking you to send him $25. Rich ain't it. Wealthy is it. That's what you want to do. You want to get wealthy. Matter of fact, that's a chapter in the book too, James. The difference between rich and wealthy. I'm telling the little Robert and the little James. I'm discussing it in the book. But anyway, okay. So here's a strategy. I said, okay, you got a 2-year-old. I said, how about you take and put $2,000 into a savings plan for this 2-year-old. Now, $2,000, I want you to do it for every year. A lot of the Jewish people do it with bar mitzvah. A lot of the other nationalities, they do it with, king sale, different things, and they'll come together and instead of buying the kids toys and Nikes and all this kind of junk that passed away. So, and I want you all, as I explain this, I want you all to be creative with it. I want you to take it to another level. I want you to think about your own personal situation. So, because I use this also for all 4 of my grandkids. Matter of fact, all my children too. I got 5 of them. So all of them and myself and everybody in my office. So we use this strategy because we do this strategy here. So here is a strategy. This 2-year-old, I said, if you put $2,000 in a savings plan, the savings plan, the minimum it's going to pay is 5% annually. That's the minimum. Minimum. And you cannot lose a dime. So that's good already. So you save $2,000. Now, for the 2-year-old, you put it into an account. When you put it into this account, it's going to be insured. It's going to be backed by the insurance company. So right there, you're going through an insurance company, not Wall Street, not gambling. It's going through an insurance company. It's going to do what it say it's going to do. It's guaranteed to do what it say it's going to do. It ain't maybe, it's a certainty. So you put $2,000 in a savings account for the 2-year-old. When you do that at 2-year-old, the insurance company says, okay, you put $2,000 in this savings account for this 2-year-old grandson or daughter or whoever. The insurance company is that year is going to, as soon as you put the $2,000 in there, they're going to insure the kid's life for $101,000. So we know that if the kid wake up dead, something happened, the parents get, or you get $100,000 tax free. But that's not why we're doing it. It's just because an insurance company, and by rule, the insurance company got to act like an insurance company and insure you. Okay. But this time, they're you putting $2,000 in there. Now you could have said $3,000 or $5,000. You can name your price, how much you want to save. So I told him if he put in $2,000 per year, and every time he put in the $2,000, the insurance company gonna put more guaranteed life insurance on the kid. On top of that, that $100,000 next year is going to automatically be $103,000 in life insurance. But what I like about the life insurance, it's not death insurance, James. If the kid gets sick, any kind of illness, the life insurance, even though you didn't put in $100,000, you could use the life insurance like you did put in $100,000 for any kind of medical issues. Isn't that something?
An emergency. Isn't that? Hey, go ahead.
And you only put in $2,000. Now, the $2,000 is still in the account. Minimum earning what? 5%.
5%.
Compounding, right?
Compounding monthly.
So I said, James, okay, this is the plan. I told him, I said, I want you to do $2,000. Surely you can come up with $2,000 for the whole year. That's only $167 a month. Y'all go out and eat and party and go to restaurants, go to Red Lobster and go to games and all kind of stuff. Y'all spend $2,000, especially around Christmas. So I said, okay, I want you to do this for 10 years. I said, but anytime the first year, the second year, third year, fourth year, whatever, anytime you need money, you can get it out, and you can get it out tax-free because you put it in there.
And you don't just be able to get out your $2,000.
Right. Okay.
Because you got $100,000 policy.
Benefits. Life insurance plus medical. Okay. So now I said, I want you to do this for 10 years. And he says, 10 years, man, I don't want to be, it's my grandkid. And the 10 years, his mama is still alive and I'm going to be putting $2,000. I said, well, you don't really have to commit the $2,000. You can put in 2,000 this year, and next year you can put in 1,000. Or next year you can put in $500. Next year you can put in $300 for the whole year. He said, "Oh, it's flexible like that." I said, "Yeah, it's flexible. But I don't want you to think the low part of it. I want you to aim. Say, just commit to this 2,000. You're gonna be glad you did at the end of the story." I told him. He said, "Okay." I said, "So let's print out this illustration. So let's say that you save $2,000 into this savings plan backed by an insurance company for this kid, and you commit to put in $2,000 annually for the kid, and in 10 years, you done put in $20,000." And I said, "I like it also because it gives you control." He said, "What do you mean control?" Because in a life insurance policy, there's three components. Three. The first one is the owner of the policy. The owner of the policy is the huncho, the king and the queen. The owner of the policy says who the beneficiary can be. The owner of the policy says, all the money I put in that policy, I need it for something. Something happened to my car or whatever, or I want to take some money for vacation. I can put it back, that the owner of the policy. The insured is just the insured. The insured is a clean body, a body that got approved. And the beneficiary, in case the insured die, that's who get the money. But as you being the owner, you can control who the beneficiary. You can make the beneficiaries your alma mater. You can make the beneficiary your church. You can make the beneficiary your trust, because you are the owner of the policy. And I like this for a 2-year-old, James. Let's think about this. A 2-year-old, right up to 18 years old, they don't have to take no blood and urine tests. Can you believe that? So they almost guaranteed to get, this coverage. Isn't that something? And there's a lot of kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. They haven't been diagnosed at that time as some illness, but maybe they're gonna get diagnosed, when they're 15 or whatever. But once you have this, you got it. You can get, you can have illness or problems or whatever later on, but you got it right now. And then plus the death benefit doubles for catastrophic illness. You don't have to die in order to use the life insurance component of it. But let's go to I want to talk about generational wealth. So let's say if you do this for your grandkid, at the end of 20 years, you say, "Well, how much?" "I done put in 20,000. I mean, at the end of 10 years, you say, "I done put 2,000 a month. Now I got 20,000. How much is in there?" And I say, "Well, it's $23,000 is in there." He said, "Man, that's all it grown." I said, "But no, listen now. That's a stash for you. You got it for your grandkid, and the grandkid now is pretty young, and there's cash in there. $23,000 that's growing like a Roth. It can never be taxed."
A 12-year-old.
Right. And I said, and the thing about it is, it's not just at 5% minimum. There's a component in there that says, if the stock market go up and do 15%, you can get 15%. Okay. If the stock market crash, you don't lose a penny. I said, every time the stock market go up, your money go up. If the stock market go down, you get zero. You don't get no deduction. I said, that's some good stuff. So not only do you can have the fixed account where you get a fixed amount, but you also to get more than the 5% that's guaranteed.
At the 10 years, Rob, what is now that policy value?
Okay, so after 10 years, the policy value, remember it started off with 101,000. Well, after 10 years, it's 123,000. Okay. So they gave more life insurance too. Now, after 10 years, he don't have to pay no more. He done. And that's 20,000, and he still have the life insurance and the benefits, right?
And getting compound.
But hey, listen, by the time the kid is 24 years old or 22 years old, it's 45,000 in the savings account. Okay. Now, by the time this kid is 34 years old, it's $83,000 in there, and the life insurance is $204,000. Now you ain't paying no more. You've been stopped 10 years. In the first 10 years, you paid. It's like you planted the seed. Now you ain't gotta, you ain't gotta the tree, the coconut tree. It's you ain't gotta keep planting the seed. Coconut tree done got root. Now it's growing now. Coconuts, right? Hey, and then listen. By the time the kid is 45 years old, it's $170,000 cash in there, tax free, like a Roth, and the life insurance is $400,000. Not only life insurance. Remember that life insurance in this plan doubles as living benefits if you have a stroke, heart attack, cancer, coma, critical illness, chronic illness, liver, anything. You use the $400,000. Not when you're dead, they give it to you now. But the cash that's in the account, it's $170,000. Listen, by the time the kid is 50 years old, it's $500,000 living benefit life insurance, and it's almost $300,000 cash in there, tax free, never to be touched. Never to be taxed. And guess what? All them years, the kid could have used the money that's in the plan as collateral to buy real estate, to buy a car, take a vacation, and never have to touch the principal. Now, by the time, let me see, I printed this out. By the time the person is 59 and a half, it's $600,000 in cash. Now, think about this. This kid started at 2 years old, $2,000 a year for 10 years and stopped.
I stopped at 20 for 10 years.
Stopped at 20, right? 10 years. God, the kid is 59 and a half and they got $600,000. Where'd that come from? That's compounding. And life insurance is $700,000. And remember, they stopped paying way when the kid was
12 years old.
Yeah. This is how the people that don't look like me and you, this is what they do. This is the turtle. See, the turtle always wins. In the story of the turtle and the hare, this is what happens.
Tracy just asked a question, Robert. What if you just go ahead and pay the $20K at once?
Oh, you doing it now. Now you Big Willie now, Tracy. Oh, you Big Willie now. You put that $20,000 on once, so you done laid it, boy. You done laid it for generational wealth. Oh, that thing gonna compound and grow. Plus, they get them benefits, Tracy. You thinking that? See, that's what I want to have this conversation, because I want y'all to think like Tracy thinking. What about this? And see, in Congress, where Democrat, Republican, they don't mess with this. You never hear them talking about this. Is called an Index Universal Life.
Ooh, I shared that at the table, Rob, in Disney. And I had 3 brothers sitting at the table with me. And they grew ears like antennas. Go ahead.
This is stuff we know not of. And see just how Tracy said, what if I just put 20 in it right now, and just leave it. Don't mess with it. That thing, that's like you going out and you planting an oak tree. And one day that oak tree is going to grow and it's going to have shade under it. Okay. And it's going to be strong. And when the wind blows, it ain't going to fall because it's going to be deeply rooted. Some people have 20,000. Let me tell you something. Tracy, 20,000. Listen, I have people putting $100,000 in, 200,000. People don't look like you. People that don't look like you, they put a lot of money in here and they keep quiet about it because they don't talk about this on the stock market and all that. No. See, this is stuff that's locked up in the back room. You won't even know about. It's that secret stash information. They tell us about this, the stocks up and down, all that kind of stuff, even real estate. This stuff right here is good stuff. They keep this stuff. They don't even talk about it. In Congress, you never hear them talking about changing laws or rules about this strategy because the average person don't know. Most people think about death and dying life insurance. No. You missed this one. This is it. The other stuff ain't it. This is it. And especially when you can piggyback. Now, a lot of people, they'll say, listen, I am uninsurable. I got all kind of illness. But you got a grandson, you got a child. You can be the owner of the policy, put the money on them because they clean. And then you can put as much money in there and you can actually use the money and parlay it and buy real estate. I use mine to buy real estate. Listen, all 4 of my grandkids, I'm the owner and I put money in every year. If one of them wind up being on a pole dancing, guess who money it is? My money. I don't give up control. You never
Owner.
give up control. Isn't that something?
Owner. Nathaniel said,
Unc, I
oh,
need this. That's right. That's right, Nate. You call your uncle. You know, that's all I do is think. You call me. I'm going to tell you that strategy. This is how they don't talk about this. You ain't going to hear this. This is the secret stuff. This is the secret sauce. This is the stuff. You know how the good stuff, they always have it locked up in the back. You got to ask for it. And if you don't know nothing, you got to ask somebody, hi, why I heard about that? Fool, you think you hear about all the good stuff? You hear about the chatter junk stuff. All the good stuff they keep locked up in the room. You got to go downstairs in the basement. Come on down here. Let me show you. But you someone who sent you. That's what, how you know about this? You know, you have to be connected. You have to have a relationship. You have to ask. You have to seek. And I ain't never seen nobody who knock on the door and it ain't been open. That's a universal law too, right, James? You know, universal law. If you knock, it's gonna be open.
If you are connected with he who created the door.
Now, hey, and now check this out. By the time that same 2-year-old is 65 years old, there's $750,000 tax-free cash, and there's $900,000 living benefit, death benefit. By the time that 2-year-old is 69 years old, they're a millionaire. And it don't stop. Every year it goes up. The value goes up. This is stuff, man. I tell you now, remember I said in life, there's trade-offs. What's the hard part? That's how you vet it. It's always a sacrifice. Where's the hard part? The hard part, can you put in $2,000 a year for 10 years? Most people can't do it. Most people spend all their money. They make $500 a week. They spend all $500. And they got to work the next week and they spend all $500. So that's the hard part. The hard part is being able to change your thought. You can't, if you make $500 a week, damn it, you can't spend all $500. Spend $350. You got to save something for you. So the hard part, are you going to sacrifice? Listen, you don't have to do, you can do $1,000 a year. The lower you do, the less you're going to have. That's the same sowing and reaping. Also, if you want to have a job and you just want to sweep the floor and work in the cafeteria, you know you ain't going to be rich. But if you do something that's hard and difficult, then there's a chance that you're going to be wealthy. Because most people ain't trying to do that which is hard. If you do what's hard first, it only take, look here, doing what's hard, this person's going to save $2,000 a year for 10 years. That's hard for a lot of people. But after them 10 years, look in the end how great it is. Isn't that something?
But Rob, the one thing that we find out is when we do these hard things, we attract good. You can't do good and not attract good. He said, give, and it shall be, another principle, it shall be given unto you. So if you will do that, you know, as our grandparents used to say, we know the Lord will make a way. But the way is not with you sleeping in the bed. You got to get on the road to find the way, right? To get to that next point, you got to start walking or riding. You got, like you said, you got to do something.
Listen, so, man, you got to do something.
You got to do something. And Rob, to really, even within that 10-year period, if you start out at the 2 and do like Tracy said, you might start out at 2 and then next year you say, hey, I'm going to drop these 18 in because I was blessed.
That's right.
Something happened. And most of the time we have all that we need to get all that God has for us. But we don't want to obey the rules, obey the laws.
The law.
Those laws. Oh man. Awesome.
Now, as I'm, you know, some of y'all should be thinking, because some of y'all got grandkids. Now, Robert Earl asks a good question. Say, do you have to be related to the person? Now that's an excellent question. Now he thinking about Willie the Winehead sitting under that tree. See, he thinking about, oh man, look at Johnny the crackhead. Who want to put some insurance on him? Well, see, when you thinking like that, the insurance companies, they're professional risk takers now. They're gonna say, do you have a relationship? You got to have some kind of insurable interest from. There got to be some kind of relationship. You know, you can't just get a stranger because you know that Bobo the clown over there. You know, he out there talking and air punching. He out there in the middle of the corner. He on the corner with no shirt on. He just swinging and punching the air. He boxing my You can't put insurance on him because there's no relationship. An insurance company ain't gonna. They know it's a lot of crazy people running around. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna insure all of them because you know they're professional risk taking. It's a matter of time when they're gonna be gone.
So they're doing that data as well. They're calculating.
Huh?
They're calculating and doing that data.
To say, yeah, they calculating doing the data.
When that lady came into the house and she said, now, I know you walked to the door, but you've got to take 10 steps because that's a part of this program. You know? hey, Rob, they go do the blood. They go, because, hey, they're going to do the blood test. They go, all that kind of, you know, you have to, quote unquote, first of all, call the Henderson Financial Group. For those of you listening, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, wherever it is that you're getting this, you know, I suggest that you reach out to the Henderson Financial Group so that you can speak with someone in the office that can help you take the first step.
Right. Yeah, we specialize. We specialize in index universal life IULs, and we specialize in formulating and putting a strategy together for children, for adults, for you could be 30 years old, 100, you could do 50. You know what, James? We just did one for a lady. She's 74 years old. And this lady said, you know, she's gonna take the money out of her 401k. She's 74 years old. So she said she's gonna put $50,000 a year out of her 401k. She easing the money out of that because that's gonna be taxable forever. And the 401k money, she don't need it. She's pretty wealthy, but she don't need it. And she know that she don't need it. And the more it grows, the more taxes she's gonna have to pay. It's out of her control. They duped her. You know, they've duped us with this 401k because it's like gum on your shoe. So what she says, hey, Henderson, can I take $50,000 out a year and put it into this IUL? Because then when I put it into the IUL, see, I pay the taxes to get out of jail. In other words, to pay the taxes to get out of the 401k. And then once I pay that, there's no more taxes. I'm going to put it inside of this index universal life, IUL, and then it's going to grow and it's going to give her life insurance, long-term care, the living benefit of the life insurance policy. And as long as she's living, she still have access to the money she put in there to do whatever she wants to. And one thing that I like about the saving component part of when you put money in this is, let's say this kid has $100,000, you know, then let's say that's 100,000. Well, he would have had $100,000 in there by the time it was 34 years old. 100,000 cash, tax-free cash would have been in there. Let's say you say, well, it's $100,000, only put in 10, but now it done compound to only put in 20, but now it compound to 100,000. There's no taxes due on it. The whole year, there's no IRS reporting or nothing. Okay, so now it's $100,000 in there, and the kid said, "Listen, I need $80,000." Most people will say you're gonna go to the life insurance cash and just withdraw it out. You don't want to do that. See, in America, if you receive money that has grown, you got to pay tax on the growth. But the insurance companies and the strategy behind this is don't withdraw your money out. Yeah, you got $100,000 in there and it's growing tax-free. If you need $80,000, $90,000, don't
We're going to give you that.
Yeah, they say don't withdraw it out. The insurance companies say keep it in there and let it keep compounding. We know you got $100,000 in there right now, cash that that has grown. So we're gonna use your 100. You can use your 100,000 as collateral. So if you use it as collateral and pledge it, we'll give you 90,000 to go shopping, go to the casino, do whatever you want to do.
No. Say go to
okay, we'll do whatever you. In other words, there's no limits. There's no hardship. You ain't got to tell the insurance company why you need the money. But the thing about it, what people miss is you're not using your money. So therefore, the IRS can't tax you. You didn't withdraw the money. Your money's still there. The insurance company say, what we're going to do is keep your money still here growing and compounding. Mm-hmm. The insurance company say, we'll collateralize your money. We'll give you our money, the insurance money. We'll give you our money from the general ledger. We'll give you $90,000 because we know you got $100,000. So it's like we can't lose. So they give you $90,000, $95,000. And you say, well, I got to pay interest. Yeah, you got to pay us interest. Insurance company say you got to pay us. One insurance company said their interest is 1.9%. Did you hear what I just said? Not so you ain't withdraw your money. Your money's still compounding and growing.
But they gave you that money and they're gonna charge you 1.9%.
1.9%. Ooh, Lord, that's all.
Hey, now that
and your money growing, minimum 5%. 10%, 11%. You just follow me? So that's how the wealthy get wealthier. So this is what I call true financial literacy. This is true finance. This is stuff that this is what I'm writing this book about, and I'm gearing it toward young Black boys and young Black girls. It's called the Blueprint. But a lot of adults should be going to be reading this book because it's the basic elementary of understanding how money works and how the system works. I gotta outline a chapter called The System. And you Black don't think that you equal with all the rest of them. We say that. The Constitution say that, even though Trump said when he get in, he gonna change the Constitution. He gonna get rid of that. They say that all men are created equal, but we know differently. We get stopped by a cop, we ain't gonna get treated the same as somebody who don't look like us. That's just the way it is. And once you know that, then you don't want to get stopped by a cop. Cop stop me. First thing I'm doing, looking at his badge or her badge, and saying, "Hey, Officer Gomez or Officer Ryle Jackson or Johnson, or whatever." And I'm with respect in my hand right here. I listen. I'm gonna help you do your job so I can get home tonight. I even say that to him, which I haven't got. Knock on wood. I can't remember last time I got pulled over. But that's another story. But anyway, so you do have to have some relationship with the person. It can't be a complete stranger, because otherwise you'll go around, looking at, misfits, so to speak, and insuring them, and that's a business itself. The insurance company think you're gonna kill them, So.
Tell them, Rob. Tell them how to get in touch with you, Rob, because we got to get out of here.
That's right. So we specialize in this strategy. So give us a call. Call us on Monday, 305-825-1444. Let me give you the number again. The area code is 305-825-1444. Also, you can you can sign up and get a conference call. You can go on our website also, and it's called the Henderson Financial Group. You got to put the in front of it. The HendersonFinancialGroup.com, and look at our website. But call us on Monday and we'll talk privately to you, and we'll discuss your case. Okay. 305-825-1444. Man, I hope y'all learned something. And this strategy, you could use it, man. You could mix it up. It's like, everybody don't make the same kind of macaroni or dressing, so this index universal life that we pretty good. We can make it go fast. We can slow it up. We can tell you how to put it in there. It's very flexible. But the thing about it is protection. Not only protection, it's insured, and you can't lose a dime, and you have access to it. You ain't got to wait till you're 59 and a half. You know what I mean? And then you can take it out. There's a way you take it out where you pay zero in taxes. So it has all of the components that most of us want to have. We just don't know where to look for it or how to look for it. But now today I have enlightened you all, and now you know. So share this with as many people as you can, and call the Henderson Finance Group. Now, all companies are not the same. We're specialists in this. I've been doing this over 35 years. So I have found this stuff. And James know I will go anywhere. They know I'm at a workshop here. I don't care if it's in Canada, New York, California, Milwaukee, and they all over. And I get invited to these conferences and these strategies, and I learn a lot, and I come back and I share with you. And like Robert Earl say, free information, but it's free for me telling you, but there's still something you must do. Everybody in the scriptures God used, they had to do something. God said, pick up your bed, move. I need you to do this. Go down here. So don't think that you can get something for nothing. There's always trade-off, a sacrifice. You must pull back. You must make a change. In order to grow, you have to change some things. You can't keep doing the same thing and thinking the same way and grow. That's impossible. You cannot go faster and you're in a car without giving the gas more. You have to press the pedal in order to go faster. All right.
Amen.
James, you want to take us out?
Mr. Pre's there. She said good morning. Yes. You want to say good morning to some of those other people that you didn't get in?
Yeah, I see my nephew there, Parnell. God bless life insurance. Okay, Parnell all into it. Mr. P, you missed it. You can go back since it's on Facebook
Yeah.
and YouTube. You can go back and listen to it as much as you want to for everybody. All right.
Right.
So James,
I got
you got a question? You want to take us
yeah,
out?
I got a big shout out. I got 2 shout outs today, Rob.
Okay.
My brother is coaching the Delray Rocks 9U football
Oh
team.
man.
These are young, oh man, I love him. He's a Marine and they're in the championship today. So all those teams that are in the championships here in South Florida with these city leagues, the PAL, I think it's PAL. But hey, we wish them safety and good luck. But to of course to the 9U team and the 13U team of Delray Beach, Delray Rocks. Hey, we wish you the very best and we hope you come out to be champions today. Also, a big shout out. I'm running to the station. Special guest, Rob. I don't know if you've heard this guy, but October London. We're doing a hot live today, and we've invited some of our listeners to come in. He has an album called The Rebirth of Marvin Gaye. And
Oh
look him
man.
up. Look this brother up.
Hey,
Look,
the album is called A Rebirth of Marvin Gaye.
the rebirth of Marvin Gaye.
Wow.
And he's not imitating or emulate. He is it. That is who he is, and he
Wow.
does. It's awesome. So we're gonna do him at 12 o'clock today. So we got a busy day, and I know you've got people calling in the Zoom. So
Yes.
everybody out there, thank you so much for being with us. Whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, please pass the word that there's information that Mr. Henderson will give that will help us to help ourselves and to help others in our community. So, God, we want to thank you for this right now moment. We want to ask for continued blessing for Robert Henderson and his staff and his company and those who will share the good news and share the word so that others will be blessed, because truly we do believe that you have blessed us so that we may be a blessing to others. And we accept that challenge in Jesus' name. And so it is.
Oh
Amen.
man, let the church
Amen.
say amen. Boy, I
Amen.
tell you, man,
Yeah.
that was a good one, right? We learned something today, y'all.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir. I mean, Brother Henderson. We learned that we got to tell somebody. Don't just keep it to yourself. Tell somebody. Tell
That's right.
somebody.
You can always go back and listen to this again because it's on YouTube and Facebook. Much love to you. Be safe out there and be careful. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and happy Thanksgiving to all.
Ah, yes, yes. We won't see you before Thanksgiving. Much love. Much love.
Peace. Don't eat too much.